Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video on Wild Rift. So today we're back with a Lucian supplementary guide, and today we're going to be taking a look at rushing BT on Lucian. Now, I still think Lucian's best build is rushing Duskblade as a first item, and then going into basically this build. But we're going to take a look at the build without Duskblade, which is going to put you to 100% crit faster, but again, I still don't think it's the best build. So first item to do on Surprise is going to be the Gluttonous Greaves for the Omnivamp and the AD. Now, some people do like taking Lethality Boots on Lucian as a first item. I think it's okay. I've tried it myself, but I do like the early healing from Gluttonous Greaves, especially because you're getting healing from Bloodthirster, so that Lethality Boots rush could be the way to go. Because Lucian, after the IE nerf is, of course, significantly weaker because he used to rush IE as a first item. So, Bloodthirster, of course, physical vamp, good stats, AD crit, and of course, extra stats when you're high on health. Amazing. And then you have the combo of the 2 attack speed items. So one of the kind of problems with this build is you're actually lacking quite a bit of AD. So you have no AD from these 2 items, and you have like only 30 AD from this, from the Moral Reminder, which is less than the boots, by the way. So, so you go for Charge Blade for the mainly for the passive, to be honest, where you can proc your Sunburst passive, which gives you magic damage as well as, of course, it can crit. You get ability haste and crit, which is really useful. Attack speed. 40% attack speed here and 35% attack speed here. Honestly, not that useful, but you do get off your auto attacks faster, so it's not useless because you still auto attack quite a bit. Of course, the main reason for this one is not just static shift passive, but also, of course, the additional long range, because Lucian has quite horrible range. And then, of course, Moral Reminder for the Armor Pen as well as the Grievous Wounds. And last item is Defensive Option, something like a GA, but generally it's going to be Maw. Generally, Maw is going to be your last item. Now, alternative of this build is to swap out one of these 2 for another item. So for example, you could swap out the Blaster for you could swap out the Blaster and go for IE instead. Now this, even though IE is really not that good of an item, however, just getting the AD from IE could be good. Now you could even swap in like Navori, for example, for faster cooldowns, because Navori also gives you 45 AD, but in the gameplay you will see later, I actually tried this build. I actually found that because I was a hit, I still did insane amounts of damage. That's only because I was a hit. If I was even or behind, I think this build probably wouldn't be all that good. I think going for an IE or like another AD item in as your second or third item is probably going to be better. So for the runes, there's only one way to go, which is going to be PTA. Of course, with PTA, Lucian procs very easily with his double auto attack, makes him stronger in lane and stronger in every stage of the game just with PTA. First Strike is also, okay, but it's just inferior to PTA. Brutal, costs you auto attack quite a bit. Giant Slayer, of course, it's still the best rune to take in his slot, even after the coup de grace buff. And we have Bloodline, of course, because get extra healing. And here I like to take Sudden Impact because this, of course, helps with your early game quite a bit. You can also take Bone Plating, but I really think that Lucian needs the extra early game damage from the lethality of Sudden Impact. And for the spells, Exhaust and Flash all of the time. And with that out of the way, let's move on to talking about the gameplay. Okay, so let's take a look at the gameplay itself. Now, of course, as I mentioned, probably putting in an IE in the build probably is going to be a good thing compared to 2 attack speed items that don't give you AD. Maybe a Navori might be better as well. But as I said, in this particular game, I got very fed, so I decided to try out this build. And honestly, you guys will see in the gameplay later. This is actually a pretty decent build, even with all the things I just mentioned right there. Because getting extra range, getting 2 magic damage sources, making you have mixed damage and things like that is always going to be a good thing, always going to be helpful, so it's really not that bad. It's just that I think the lack of AD is always going to be something that's not too good. So yeah, so this lane right against a Morgana and the Samira here. So honestly, Samira has same range as Lucian, and of course Lucian wins the short trade. Samira can really only win if she is able to get off a ult on you, so pre-ult you definitely are going to win against her. Whereas, of course, Morgana can't really do very much except dropping these puddles on top of your hit. Of course, she can use that black shield to prevent herself or Samira from getting CC'd by Leona, which is probably the biggest value that Morgana is going to bring to the table. Other than that, if she's able to land the root for Samira to follow up on, it could be nasty, especially if they are level 5 and above. So before that, Lucian Leona definitely is going to win the lane. So here Engage comes in from Leona onto the Morgana. Morgana shields herself after she already takes all of the damage, so doesn't really matter. Has to pop both Flash and Heal. So we definitely won the trade on that one. Got both of her summoner spells. And now we're going to crash the wave in. So just waiting for the next wave, nothing too much happening here. And yeah, so pretty boring laning phase. As long as like we don't get an engage, nothing too much is gonna happen. Because basically, for me to do anything, I need Leona to engage. And similarly for Samira, she kind of needs Morgana to land a binding for her to really do anything. And she also kind of needs level 5. Because even if Morgana lands a binding right now, it's not really gonna be all that helpful. Just simply, of course, due to the fact that she can't really just kill me just like that. So here, we have a pretty interesting situation where Yasuo is roaming from mid to top. But there's really not a lot we can do here, except if Leona engages, Yasuo might be able to come in and help. But Leona, of course, is not actually able to engage and doesn't have any knockups for Yasuo to actually use to jump in, even if she does. So not too much really happens here in the grand scheme of things. We're just gonna push out this wave and we're gonna look for a reset to get our boots, which is of course gonna be our laning phase kind of power spike here. And yeah, so boots and longsword in the inventory. We do have a small gold lead over the Samira. I guess we have been able to deny her a little bit of minions here and there. She is pushing in this next wave though. But when we get there, we should be able to collect the rest of it. Actually, we get all of it. And of course, we do maintain our about 400 gold lead. So yeah, Samira is a little bit rough into Lucian here. Minions block the binding. Samira is now level 5, so it is probably going to be a little bit more of an exciting laning phase. Now, Morgana not yet level 5, crucially, so we do have a level advantage over her for a short period of time before some more minions go down. Black Shield comes out onto the Samira, seeing as Leona was posturing quite aggressively. So now Black Shield is down, and Leona can actually find an engage if she's able to find an angle for it, which is going to be pretty huge. Samira, of course, standing far away from the bush where it's obvious she's at. Black Shield actually comes down to block the Leona ulti. Beautiful Black Shield from the Morgana. Credit where credit is due. So Leona's not able to get off the stun, not able to get off a successful engage, and blows the ult in trade for the Black Shield cooldown. So here we're kind of just back to the boring laning phase. Again, not too much is really happening happening here. Now, another small thing to note is I do recommend just going for the Duskblade build all the time. Engage Finding comes in here, Samira pops the barrier and is able to flash out. So both summoner spells once again gone. But as I was mentioning, actually let's get to the fight here. There is going to be a huge fight in the jungle. Lucian is now taking a bunch of damage. I flash forward to get the kill onto him. He goes down eventually after a couple more auto attacks, and now Morgana stuck under the tower. Now, I just need my team to be patient while I push in this wave. So here we're getting the wave crashed in, and with the wave in, we can easily dive her. Morgana tries to remove the minions, but to no avail. Now, Samira walks back here, not knowing we're all planning to dive the Morgana, so Samira ends up eating the death instead, and Morgana now ends up going down to Tryndamere, who flashed forward to get the kill, which was completely unnecessary because I was going to be able to get the kill anyway. I really don't think it's worth flashing for a kill if one of your teammates is going to be able to get the kill. I think trading flash for a kill is not worth it unless, unless it is a case where your teammate cannot get the kill. So if it's a 1v1 and you flash for a kill, it's fine. Or if you just flash to attack a low HP target, it's fine. But if you flash when someone else can just get the kill, like really, you flash to KS is just not worth it. But anyways, he decides to do so anyways, and he gets the kill, which is fine by me, I guess, because it's just a pretty dumb play if you really think about it. And next up, here we're going to clear out the wave now. Leona is walking back to lane, so we're going to have to hold our own for just a little bit while we wait for Leona to get back here. Don't want to play overly aggressive or anything like that while waiting for her to come back to the lane. And here Yasuo once again is somewhat in our area, but again, not too much can really be done. In fact, he should be helping out with the Herald fight. And he is actually going down there now, but unfortunately the Herald also is already taken by the enemy team. So both objectives taken by the enemy team, not too good. Here, the Samira takes a little bit of damage for taking the toolkit. Morgana goes in onto the Leona, all in, uses everything on her for some reason, and Samira almost has full stacks, but doesn't quite have it. In fact, we're actually trying to bait her in, because if she goes in right here with her full stacks, she's actually gonna die. So if she does that, you know, that's not gonna be a good move for her. She realizes it, so she doesn't actually go in. Now we're gonna be able to get this tower for free, which is gonna be the first tower of the game, as you guys can see here. And while we're at it, we're also gonna deny some enemy jungle camps. Of course, you always want to deny the enemy team, you know, as much as you can. So here now we're basically gonna pull the same trick again. We're gonna wait in this bush. Nice blind, not really blind, but it's in the fog of war, kind of engaged by the Leona, and Samira goes down. Unfortunately, Leona tanks tower because Morgana roots her there, but I'm able to get the kill onto the Morgana. So overall, we get 2 kills for the price of 1. So it's still a relatively good trade. We also get the jungle camps, we get the waves, and we know this is a safe play because the whole time we knew Lucian was on the other side of the map, so this is not a risky play whatsoever. And of course, A Soul is dead. And yeah, so now we are going to be able to hit back. We of course already had our Bloodthirst, so now we have both components for our Charge Blade, which is of course going to be our next Power Spike. Charge Blade, beautiful item for Lucian, is able to give you that burst damage. And here we're going to go to mid to see if we can make a play onto the Mundo. Mundo's taking a bunch of damage. However, Lucian Hex gates up, and the enemy bot lane is pushing in quite hard, so we don't want them to get too much tower damage. Leona actually hides in the bush here to see if she can get a pick. Doesn't seem to be the case. And we are just going to clear the wave. So they've actually all migrated to mid. So they're going to force the mid tower down. And I don't think we can reach there in time to actually defend. So it looks like they're going to get an objective bounty. But we're going to see if we can actually catch them out. Now, Morgana gets slowed. Flash in from Leona goes in. Is able to catch the Morgana out. Morgana's Black Shield comes in like 3 full seconds too late. And Mundo gets caught by the knockup. And I'm able to cull him down for the double kill. So now we're going to push into the mid lane tower as a 4-man stack. And not much any team can do to defend it. If they miss that, they actually will die here, because obviously 4 people's worth of damage. No one's really going to survive that one. So here, because we have the manpower, we're actually going to continue to force down the tier 2 tower. Lee Sin Q hits Leona, so I'm going to actually move away in case his kick cooldown comes back up, which I'm really not too sure what Lee Sin's kick cooldown is. And so I don't want to take the risk of standing too close to her and giving him an angle to kick her into me, which would not be, you know, very fun. So now we're going to back, of course, complete our Charge Blade and start building towards the Blaster. Over here, yeah, there we go, Kirk Eye Shard in the inventory. Now we're going to go back top because the waves are kind of stacking up, you know, all together. And we are probably just going to be able to clear them out. And yeah, Samira has a similar idea. So here, I'm going to do what I think is a pretty intelligent play, which is, I want to kill Samira. I'm not too, I am interested in this wave, but if I'm in XP range and not whatnot, it's fine. So here I'm just taking the XP. I'm waiting for her to come close. I'm gonna go in on her. She flashes, and I'm trying to get rid of her. So I ult, and I'm able to actually kill her. Now Lee Sin now comes in, but it's now a 1v1, and I'm like 7-0 at that point in time. So I'm just gonna kill him now. Mundo and Morgana are the next 2 challengers. I flash over to get into range to kill Morgana. She goes down, and now Mundo is gonna be the next target. I'm slowly trying to run him down. A few more autos will do it, but unfortunately his ulti is healing him a little bit too much for me to really handle, so we're not quite able to get that. However, we are going to be able to get this dragon because majority of the enemy team is dead, and we're going to be able to finish it off before the Lee Sin or other enemies are able to come here. There we go, dragon has been secured, so denying the Infernal Soul for the enemy team, really crucial. Leona does engage really deep in, however, Yasuo gets kicked away and is not able to really follow up. I'm also trying to get in range to follow up, but I'm getting sucked in by the black hole here of Aurelion Soul. The big ulti comes in, Leona goes in again, I'm a little bit too far away. I try to cull someone down, Mundo body blocks majority of the shots, so I'm not really able to get any meaningful damage on anyone who's important. Shield Bow of the Yasuo pops, which is not really good. A little bit of a waste there. But you can see, just taking stock of the game at this point, I have like almost 11k gold, 3 full items completed, and very far ahead of anyone on the enemy team. Like, you can see the most gold on their team is like Aso and Samira, and they're like 3k gold behind me. So huge lead. from me. And of course, if I don't throw the game, this is going to be a huge win for us. Now here, team was getting chased down. I was thinking of helping him, but I cannot dash in onto 3 people and expect to live there. I would probably kill at least 1 person, but I'm going to die there. And obviously, you don't want to give a 8-kill shutdown to the enemy team. Now here, we're going to take a Hex Gate because we want to go and grab that top wave before it crashes into the tower. So here, we're going to dash over the wall, grab all of these minions, and yeah, so the enemy team is mostly in the mid lane. They can see me in the top lane, so ideally my team should not be picking a fight. I'm gonna reset again because I can get, you know, some item components for the wall reminder as well as a QSS. Actually, we don't even get any components from wall reminder. We just get a QSS, which is really crucial because if we get caught up by Morgana, we probably die. So this is really, really important. One, and of course the slow from ASOL could cause our death as well, so QSS a huge buy here. In fact, if you really time it very well, you can QSS a Lucian kick, but I've only been able to do that you know, a couple of times, you know, throughout my time playing the game, because it's not that easy, of course. So here we spot enemy team on mid wave, so we're gonna go into the jungle to deny them the Gromp. We can see their majority in the top side here. There are 4 of them together, so we're going to take the long way around because we don't run straight into them. Leona actually goes straight into them. So here I'm trying to dash in and do some kind of damage while they're busy focusing Leona. I'm not really quite able to do that. Lee Sin goes in. I'm able to get a good amount of burst on him, but I get hit by the ASO. Oh, I QSS a second too late. Honestly, could have QSS a little bit faster. But now I'm just trying to DPS whoever I can. ASO's caught out of position. I'm trying to focus him down. He's 1 HP. I dash forward, finish the kill onto him. Now I'm trying to lifesteal off of the Mundo. I actually get the kill onto him as well. The rest of the enemy team has to run for the hills. Lee Sin dies to my team as well. Morgana now getting run down is going to die. Samira is the last champion on the enemy team still alive, but she's not really going to be able to do very much. So this looks like a pretty free Baron to me. The main issue is that Teemo and Yasuo are not here. So this is actually just like a 2-man Baron, and Tryndamere is pretty low. So this is getting a little bit awkward because Tryndamere has to kind of leave, and the Baron is resetting to a large extent because I don't really want to tank the Baron because I'm going to basically get the same treatment that Tryndamere did. So here, me and Teemo are trying to 2-man the Baron while Tryndamere is just waiting to come in and smite, essentially. So now I'm taking the Baron, I'm taking a bunch of damage. You can see my damage is like negligible, not negligible, but it's getting reduced to the Baron. Eventually Tryndamere comes in, tanks the Baron, gets the smite, and I'm gonna have to reset to replenish my mana especially. And we do get the Executioner's Calling to counter the Dr. Mundo in particular. So here, using the Blast Plants to get to lane faster, I'm just shadowing Leona. Now I'm just gonna dash in. I get a big bunch of damage. I QSS way too early there, mistiming it completely. Now I'm just gonna pop the culling to try to cull down whoever I can, which is really not that many people. And yeah, just a little bit of chip damage onto them. T-Hex gets rode by my support, the Leona, and here I'm gonna just get the buff share. And with the TX barreling down the mid lane, we just want to follow the TX and see if we can get Charles with it. Now, I'm actually not sure if mid lane is the optimal lane for TX to go down. I actually kind of semi-suspect that it might be better for TX to go down side lanes sometimes, but you know, we'll kind of have to see about that. Okay, so now here we are going to just deny the enemy's red buff, and of course get it for ourselves. I mean, we really have a red buff, but it's mainly to deny the enemy team. So the enemy team is focusing the T-Hex a ton. Morgana, of course, root goes into the TX, but TX is immune to CC. So here TX is just zoning people away from the dragon, which is kind of funny. Now Lee Sin is able to get into the dragon pit, but it doesn't get the smite. So here we're chasing down Lee Sin. I flash forward to finish the kill onto him. Now I'm coming back to help my T-Hex. Now the Leona's gonna pop out of the TX, and I actually think having Leona here is more useful than having the TX, but red buff is gonna get the kill on ASOL maybe? Not quite, unfortunately. ASOL is able to get out with a sliver of HP, and we're gonna go to mid to push in this mid wave. Even without the TX, we still have 3 enemies dead and all 5 of us alive, so we can probably get a couple of towers. Maybe probably the mid in hit for sure. Tryndamere is working on that bot lane tier 2, and we do actually have a wave in top as well, so we might be able to go for top lane tower as well. Now ASOL with the wave clear there. I'm deciding that's probably the best idea to go for the top wave, but on my way I'm going to not only deny the enemy raptors but also kind of lifesteal off of it. Now we want to maintain our push in the mid lane, so I'm going to clear this mid lane wave real quickly. Fight is now breaking up on the right hand corner of the map, so I'm going to rotate over there to help out my team. This doesn't look like a very good fight at the moment. My team is kind of busy dying before I really get the chance to help them. Yasuo with a nice knock-up to delay the chase, but gets rooted, and the moment he gets rooted, he's gonna just die. So here I'm just culling while I'm walking away to prevent them from chasing me. Asol doesn't get the memo, chases me, I go unstoppable, perfect timing this time, and I actually straight up just kill him. I am 12-0 at that point in time, so I'm not sure what he was thinking chasing me down like that. He's 6k, I'm not 6k, 5k goal behind me, and he decides to just run in at me 1v1. Yeah, definitely the adrenaline was running there. He probably wasn't thinking, and he just ran straight into his death. So here, I'm able to pick up my Mole Reminder, and here, honestly, I actually think, at this point, I actually think that getting the Maul would be better, because the main carry of the enemy team at the moment is actually the Asol. The Asol is doing the most damage at the moment, so I think getting that actually would be ideal. However, my other school of thought was I'm 13-0 now. I want to prevent them from getting my shutdown, so I'm actually building a GA here to prevent that from happening. Lucian kind of getting caught out a little bit. We're going to turn around onto the Mundo. Mundo walks straight into us. We're going to kill him. And yeah, so my thought process was I want to protect my shutdown by getting a GA. Now, I'm not generally a huge fan of GA, because the big problem with GA is that when you die, if your team is not there to protect you, you're going to die again anyway, so there's no real point of reviving. However, in this match, I'm hoping that my team can actually, do something to help me so that my GA actually has value. So I'm going to build GA regardless. And for some reason, Trinidad is not taking the blue buff, so I'm waiting for him to take it so I can get the buff share, which I finally do. And Elder Dragon's coming up in 10 seconds. So we want to be in the area to, of course, contest it. And yeah, that's going to be crucial. So here, just setting up vision around the area. We're making sure we have the whole area warded. Only the Tribush ward is missing at the moment. Now, I'm not sure why Yasuo and Tryndamere are going onto the Krugs. Like, we need to burst down this Elder Dragon before the enemy team comes over. Like, what are we doing here? Now Tryndamere is going onto Dragon. Now Lucian obviously is just trying to get into the pit, gets the vision, knows Elder is like about 6k HP. Asol's out's coming in. I'm dashing over the wall to go onto the Lucian. I'm flashing back over the wall to then kill the Lucian, and now we secure the Elder. Now I'm going over the wall again to chase kills onto the Mundo. I'm culling him down. I'm hoping that it's enough. Unfortunately, he pops his ult just as he's about to reach the threshold, so he survives. And now, yeah, I'm 16-0-6, one of my most played Lucian games ever, and we're on course to ending the game. Now, we could go for Baron here, or we could try to force the end, or could just go for towers. So in this case, honestly, Baron is really weak. So I actually now think going for towers and inhibs is better than going for Baron, which is kind of funny because generally Baron needs the towers, but with this new Baron, that's not always the case. So here we're trying to end the game. I'm focusing the Nexus. I actually troll here because I decided to go for a extra kill on Morgana, but I didn't realize Morgana had just, not just, but I didn't realize that she had Rylai's, and her Rylai's actually causes me to get slowed and actually let me take an extra tower shot, and because of that extra tower shot, I actually die to it and give her a 1k shutdown. So now I'm 17-1 now, which is of course no good. I'm not sure why Tryndamere is trying to solo the Baron, because that ain't happening. Like you guys saw how much damage he took from the Baron just now. He ain't gonna be soloing that Baron. Old Baron probably possible, but this new Baron does a little bit too much damage in my opinion. So unfortunately we cop a huge death there, and we complete GA after we got that death, so it's kind of not really very useful. But at that point we already have the BF sword, so we can't really do anything else with it. Enemy team is now doing Baron. Their Nexus is exposed. Now honestly, if I was Tryndamere, I would just push down mid and end the game. I have ult. If the enemy team keeps doing Baron, I'm just going to push down mid, end the game, and their Baron is useless anyway. But he decides to contest. He actually gets the steal, which of course is optimal, but the enemy team is all escaping, and he actually dies for it. So is it worth it? Maybe, in a way. I guess you deny the enemy team the Baron, but you die as well. So I think it's okay. I think it's an okay trade. But yeah, we're full build now with the GA completed. So now we're trying to barrel down mid with the Baron. T-Hex is coming with the Teemo inside the mecha. Leona goes in really deep. I try to follow up, which I am able to burst down the Lee Sin. But you can see here the main problem with GA is I'm caught in a position where there's no one who can protect me. My T-Hex is busy clearing the minions instead of just like whacking people away. However, thankfully we have the Winions in the base, and the enemy team is getting distracted by my Teemo, and the Winions are basically just ending the game here. Triple cannon minions just end the game. Samira can't get back in time to clear the wave, so we win the game anyway, but a very, very sloppy end to the game if I do say so myself. Regardless, I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.